Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first Unit 8.1 Lesson 2 review. It's my first one of the year. I know it's my first one of the year because I'm a little rusty. I completed the entire review already, videotaped the entire thing, but forgot to put on my microphone, so I have to do it all over again. Hopefully this time it goes better. I should actually pause this and make sure it's working. I'm just going to keep going and hope it works. So in Lesson 2, this is like a crash course in Lesson 2, which is funny because we've been investigating collisions. Here, let me switch to my other thing. So remember, a collision is when two objects come into contact with each other. Damage can, but doesn't always occur. So we have been investigating collisions. We ran a whole bunch of things into each other. We collided, for example, a golf ball into a CD case. We collided a rubber stopper into a CD case, rings into each other, a clay ball into a CD case, and with all of them we noticed some similarities. We notice, for example, that the motion of these things changes. So when the golf ball runs into the CD case, the golf ball's motion changes. It starts going in the opposite direction after the collision, and the CD case's motion changes. It was just sitting there, and then it started moving. We notice the same thing with the rubber stopper in the CD case. So when the rubber stopper runs into the CD case, the rubber stopper moves in the opposite direction that it was moving, so its motion changes, and the CD case's motion changes. It was just sitting there, and it started to move backwards just a little bit. Last one I'll go over is the metal rings. Again, moved in different directions. This one wasn't moving and started moving. The first one was moving and again moved in the opposite direction. So we noticed changes in motion. We also noticed changes in shape when these two rings run into each other. The shape of them changes. They were circle, they went to oval. When the rubber stopper ran into the CD case, the rubber stopper scrunched up a little, I heard people say. So its shape changed just a little bit. And we noticed the CD case bent a little. So even it changed shape. We noticed the same with the golf ball and the CD case. Although we weren't sure that the golf ball changed shape, we knew or thought for sure that the CD case changed shape. We thought it bent. Right there you can see it bending when they collide. In fact, it breaks altogether. It's hard to see, but there's a little crack here. So the CD case changed shape. We weren't 100% sure if the golf ball was changing shape. But in every other collision we did, whenever those things collided, the objects changed their motion and they changed the shape that they were in for a split second. That led us to figure out, or try to figure out, what caused the change in shape or the change in motion. It might be easiest for us to think about this by analyzing the rings running into each other. So let's start with shape. What causes the change in shape for the rings? Some people said it was the speed of the ring. However, this ring right now has speed, at least the one on the right. It's moving. The one on the left does not, but the one on the right has speed. And are the rings changing shape now? No. So the rings could not be causing the change in speed. Some people said it's the weight of the cart and the ring together. Their weight causes the change in shape. But again, they have weight right now, and those rings have not changed shape. So even though, and we'll find out later, speed and weight or mass are somewhat involved in this, they can't be causing the change in shape. So what is causing the change in shape? We said, well, what's causing it is when they collide, they're pushing on each other. remember, any push or pull is a force. So we could say the rings are putting a force on each other. And that might be causing the rings to change shape, because right now, are they putting a force on each other? No, because they're not touching. And they haven't changed shape. It's not until they're touching, until they're pushing on each other, that they actually change shape. So the pushing, the force, is what's actually causing them to change shape. And that not only caused our rings to change shape, but in all of our other collisions, any object that changed shape, it's because during the collision, they're putting a force on each other, and the forces on them cause them to change shape. So now let's turn our attention to the motion and try to figure out what causes a change in motion to these rings. Again, I think it's easiest if we think about the rings. Come on, move over. You can do it. There you go. I don't like that. We'll go with green. And this one's a little trickier. In talking about motion, we remembered that things that are moving have kinetic energy. So this cart on the right, when it's moving, has kinetic energy. The one on the left is not moving, so it has no kinetic energy. So cart on the right has kinetic energy. Cart on the left, no kinetic energy. Remember, kinetic energy, I'm just going to abbreviate it KE because it's really hard for me to write with my clicker already, so I'm not going to write the whole thing out. It can just be abbreviated KE. Remember, kinetic energy is just the energy moving things have. So this one on the right's moving, it has kinetic energy. The one on the left, not moving, does not have kinetic energy. Okay? And watch what happens when they collide into each other. If I can get this to go away. When they collide, the one on the left starts moving and the one on the right stops. So the fact that the one on the left starts moving means it now has kinetic energy. So now after the collision, it has kinetic energy. The one on the right after the collision stopped, so it now has no kinetic energy. So basically what happened was the kinetic energy transferred from this ring to this ring. So during collisions, an energy, this is really hard to write with my clicker, an energy transfer, whoops, I forgot the N, and now I forgot the S. An energy transfer takes place, and the kinetic energy from one cart gets transferred or moved to the other ring, which is what causes the change in motion. It causes the ring on the left to start moving. It causes the ring on the right to stop moving. So, to our progress tracker, our question was, in lesson 2, what causes changes in both the motion and the shape of objects when they collide? And we decided that forces cause the change in shape when objects collide, and energy transfers cause a change in motion when objects collide. Well, hopefully that was exciting for you and helpful for you, and hopefully I had my microphone on the entire time and I don't have to do this a third time. I'll try better next time. See ya.